Not every well-trodden path is the right one. Throughout our lives, we often find ourselves following roads that have existed for generations, seldom stopping to question who created them or why we continue to travel down them. Sometimes, the path we so dutifully follow was forged not by wisdom, but by chance, ignorance, or even folly. This ancient lesson is beautifully captured in a story that prompts us to pause and ask, am I truly walking my own path or merely tracing the footsteps of an anonymous donkey from the past? Long ago, in a remote and quiet village, there lived a donkey who was weary of its mundane and restricted life. One morning, driven by an urge for discovery, it declared to itself, I cannot remain here forever. I will cross the dense forest ahead and see what lies beyond. The villagers laughed, dismissing the donkey's ambition as utter madness. That forest, after all, was notorious for venomous snakes and wild beasts. For generations, no one dared to enter its shadowy depths, but the donkey, stubborn and resolute, pressed on. Day after day, braving the unknown, it finally emerged on the other side of the forest. The news quickly spread through the village. The donkey made it. Surely it's enjoying a wonderful new life now. Whispers became praise, and soon the donkey was celebrated as a courageous trailblazer. Curious, a pack of village dogs wondered aloud, if the donkey could do it, why can't we? The very next day, they followed the donkey's tracks through the forest and succeeded. Inspired by these stories, more and more villagers followed suit, each retracing the steps of those before them. Over time, the donkey's meandering trail through the forest gradually turned into the village's main road. Years later, when the government arrived to build a proper road, the villagers insisted, you must construct it along the path we know so well. It's familiar and easy to travel. The chief engineer, however, smiled wryly and said, we've surveyed the land and found a route that's shorter, flatter, and would save everyone much time and effort. But for all these years, nobody ever questioned the old way. Everyone simply followed the tracks of a donkey. The villagers were left speechless. Only then did they realize that they had spent their entire lives struggling along a needlessly difficult path, simply because no one had dared to ask, is there a better way? In life, many of us are just like those villagers. We go to school, find a job, start families, and live according to patterns set by those before us. Rarely do we pause to ask, is this path truly meant for me? Sometimes, the roads we follow were created by people with no special knowledge or foresight, perhaps even out of ignorance. Yet, we continue on, calling it safe, when in reality, it may only be a comfortable prison. The easiest road is not always the right one. The old way is not always the wisest. Your life will only change when you lift your head, question everything, and have the courage to draw your own map. Don't let your days slip by simply because you blindly follow in the footsteps of others. Be brave enough to stop, look around, and choose a new direction, one that's truly yours. It may be difficult at first, but sometimes the unexplored path leads to a life that's shorter, faster, and far more meaningful. If this story has inspired you to reflect, consider sharing it as a gentle reminder. Don't live your life on the path of a donkey. Forge your own way and discover what truly lies beyond the familiar.